Hello, and welcome to Totally Schway Flipside, a podcast about whatever the hell I want it to be about. My name's Mary.
My name is Luke.
And today we're going to be talking about Penguin, Episode 4, Cent'anni.
Cent'anni, yes.
Excuse me, but I'm not Italian,
Neither
and
am
I apologize for my ignorance.
I thought you did quite good, but then again, I don't speak Italian, so I don't know. I could just be blowing hot smoke.
So let's get straight into it. This episode is mainly focused around Sofia, Falcone.
Yes. So in last episode, I did say something along the lines of she made reference to Penguin doing something that kind of sold her out. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, we'll probably find out what that is next episode. And we did. And it was actually not a particularly malicious act, was it?
I don't think so, no.
No, so he did something. He did it for his own reasons. He wasn't doing it to look out for her, like he said in episode 3. He was doing it to get the attention of Don Carmine.
Yeah, let's go back to the beginning of the episode,
all right,
okay? So, the very beginning, because this is a vital point in the series, I think. One of the first things that you see is... I can't remember that woman's name from the Maroney family.
I forget her name as well.
The actress. Beautiful.
The matriarch.
Oh, the actress. I love her so much. She's been in a few things that I really like. Mm-hmm. But the matriarch of the Maroney family, Sofia and Oz are there before Vic drives into him, you know.
Mm-hmm. So they're being held at gunpoint.
You hear the conversation before that happens, and Oz is found out by both of them. And that's really important because I feel that the remaining episodes is going to deal with the fallout of that. Mm-hmm. And I believe that somehow, and this is just me making assumptions and maybe making my own predictions, I feel that he is going to... he's already started it. He's already started this play. He started to pit them against each other. Mm-hmm. And I think what they're going to do is they're going to end up killing each other. And then it's going to be Oz.
You never know. They might team up together to take him out.
But how is he going to be in the second Batman movie?
Well, I didn't say they would succeed. But they might team up to attack him. Because he's the one that set them against each other. Yeah.
So... obviously, we're not going to go through, like, a play-by-play of the episode, because we don't need to. But some points of this are Oz is found out. Mm-hmm. Then you have the Sofia background. Mm-hmm. In that, you have Summer Gleason.
Yeah, so this is where I come in.
Yeah, you have her father punishes her. You have Arkham. And then... yeah.
So which point do you want to cover first?
Let's talk about Summer Gleason because she's not just a character for this show. No. She is in other parts of like Batman and Penguin.
I'm going to call this one the Leonardo DiCaprio pointing meme episode. You know, where he's from... what the hell was that Hollywood movie called, made by Tarantino?
I don't remember.
Well,
I don't know what meme you're talking about.
Leonardo DiCaprio pointing at himself on TV going, oh, yeah, that's me. I know that thing because he's in it. Yeah. I've just explained it very badly.
That's okay.
But, this episode had 3 cameo characters that I pointed out and went, oh, I know those people. Mm-hmm. Pre-existing characters. So the first one you already mentioned was Summer Gleason, who was a TV reporter in Batman the Animated Series. She was made for that show. Yeah. Here she's a journalist for the Gotham Gazette and she's investigating all these women that have been murdered that worked
from the hangman, that the hangman murdered, not necessarily Sofia.
Well, they hadn't connected them together because the police had said they were all suicides. Yeah. And they'd cut out important details like, you know, defensive wounds and hand-shaped marks on their throats instead of rope. But the police were adamant that they'd all hung themselves. Yeah. The second character, to jump ahead a little bit, is Dr. Ventress in Arkham. So there is a character, very minor niche character, called Lloyd Ventress, who, in the comic books, he's the Mirror Man. Not to be confused with the Flash villain Mirror Master with the orange and green outfit. He's like this bald, bucktooth, thick, dark rim glasses wearing guy that uses mirrors in his crimes, and he invented a mirror that allowed him to see through Batman's mask. Curious, it only worked on his mask and not the rest of his clothes. Presumably because they didn't want to have a kids' comic about.
Maybe it did, but we just didn't know.
Yeah, maybe he just looked at the head. He was a very honourable gentleman. But in Batman the Animated Series, he was Mojo the Invisible Man from the episode See No Evil. And I thought that was a very nice, subtle reference that, I don't really use social media anymore, so I don't know if anyone else has pointed it out. But I did the Leonardo DiCaprio clap and point and went, I know who that is. Yeah, and he was thoroughly awful. We'll talk more about that, I suppose, in the Arkham section. And the other reference, I suppose, the comic book character is Magpie, who was a prominent villain in the cartoon Beware the Batman, and the characterization of this version of Magpie was very similar to that version of the character.
There's a spoiler coming up, by the way. Oh. Can you explain to him on my note about Magpie?
So Mary made a note of Magpie's name, and then later on when the episode finished, she came back to it, put a big cross through it, and a sad face. Because, this is one of the most beautiful things in the episode. So, we've got to explain quite a lot to get there, but essentially, Sofia is approached by Summer Gleason, in the past, obviously. And Sofia's like the respectable face of the Falcone family. She works with a mental health organisation. Mm-hmm.
Because her mum...
Yeah, because her mother apparently committed suicide.
Quote, unquote.
Yes. Yeah, and she found the body when she was a little girl, which traumatised her.
Yeah.
So Summer Gleason comes to her with all this evidence suggesting that all of these suicides are not in fact suicides, they're murders, and the police are covering it up, and she wants Sofia's help to basically interview other employees at the club and find out what really happened. Mm-hmm. And Sofia thinks back to when her mother died, and her mother had defensive wounds on her hands, and her father, who came in and found Sofia looking at the corpse, had scratches on his hands, and she finally clicks. Oh, Dad murdered Mum and made it look like a suicide. Dad's been murdering all these girls at the club. Oh. And
there's a birthday party in this after, literally like the day after this happens, the Summer Gleason and Sofia Falcone meeting, and the dad is like, I need to see my daughter, whatever, and then he essentially punishes her by framing her in Summer Gleason's murder.
Yeah, he murders Summer Gleason, frames Sofia for that and all the other murders, gets the family to all sign sworn letters saying that Sofia is mentally disturbed, and has her locked up in Arkham.
Yeah.
And the thing that I forgot to mention, is that Penguin was her driver at the time, and he took her to the meeting with Summer Gleason, and he told her father, because he framed it as he was worried that Sofia would do something silly. What was really going on is he wanted to get in the Don's good books.
Yeah. So, with this, she ends up obviously going to Arkham and all of that. But what's cool about this particular part is we get to see more of Dr. Rush.
Yes.
Which is played by the awesome Theo Rossi. And I'm already going to say this. I think I'm going to like this character. I think he's going to really... he's going to do something with this character. Like, he's going to not just have it as, like, this passive character that's just written... Like, it's not just Nora.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's one of the doctors at Arkham, isn't he? And he actually believes Sofia when she says that she didn't do this and that she's being framed. And he takes pity on her. Meanwhile, Dr. Ventress is very much part of the establishment. And what I loved about this episode is you don't know for certain whether he is acting on Don Falcone's orders or if he's just a sadist, if he's just cruel. Because they release everyone's supposed to be chained up when they eat, but they let one person out who is very violent, and they point her in the direction of Sofia, and she really beats Sofia badly. And the next day, they let Sofia go, and they give her a fork, and they take her into the mess hall, where that same woman is now chained up, and they want her to murder her. She won't do it. And the inmate basically kills herself with the fork. And Sofia is just... She's really being like gaslit in there and doubting her own sanity. And they put her through electroshock therapy. And I loved the beautiful imagery of every time after she'd been treated with the electroshock therapy, she goes back to her cell.
And she peels off the walls.
Yeah, and she can see the pattern from the wallpaper from her parents' bedroom. Obviously, it's not really there.
And she's going back to that trauma of seeing her mother hanging there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that happen in this. When you watch, if you end up watching the show, it'll explain a lot more. But I have some questions.
Okay.
How did this episode make you feel? Give me 3 words.
Sympathy. Sympathy for Sofia.
Yeah.
Because she didn't...
That's more than 3 words.
I'm explaining each word. Because she was betrayed by her father. And her father had said, your brother's a bit of a junkie. I think when I retire, it's time for you to take over.
Yeah.
And she wasn't going to betray him. She told Summer Gleason to get the hell out of there. But he wouldn't believe her because he's so paranoid. And something I absolutely love, is his dark glasses that he wears all the time. It's a very subtle thing that Mark Strong did. Mark Strong plays Falcone in this episode. When he picks up like the young Sofia, she takes his glasses off and looks him in the eye for a split second, and he snatches them off her and puts them back on because he needs that layer so that he's not looking at people and, with his eyes. There's a layer there that stops him from, experiencing the emotion, I suppose. It's shutting himself off.
Second word?
Second word is loathe. So I loathe the corruption of Gotham. It's such an awful place.
Because you're getting deeper and deeper into it.
Yes.
Third word?
With the ending of the episode, I felt joyous.
Do you want to know mine?
Go on then.
Betrayal. I also felt, I wouldn't say joy, because that's what's going in my head, but relief for that last section of the episode, and for the middle part of the episode, hurt.
Yeah, because she was only supposed to spend 6 months in Arkham before her trial.
So betrayed, hurt, and relieved.
Yeah. The end of the episode is wonderful as well.
Yeah.
Very clever. Very, very clever.
It reminds me of an 80s music video. You know what I mean? By like them just like going through each room.
Yeah.
In a way, but it's a lot more classic than that, and it's directed very, very nicely.
I thought it was nice that out of all of the family members, she chose to save the little girl. What's her name? Gia. She's like, oh yeah, we're going to go camp in the greenhouse
and
tonight.
VT. And
yeah, she saved Johnny VT. Well, saved. She just didn't kill Johnny VT, presumably because he fits into her plans.
But the little girl didn't save the other kids, though.
No. No, but they were scumbags. Like all of her family sold her out, and they treat her so badly, and they know that she's innocent, but they still treat her like she's a lunatic, and she doesn't fit in her own family anymore.
Yeah.
And it was a very clever resolution. I mean, basically she messed with the air conditioner so that it was probably like carbon monoxide poisoning or something. They didn't expressly say what it was.
I think it was gas.
Yeah, because she just walks around the house the next day.
With a gas mask.
Yeah, wearing a gas mask because she's poisoned the air, and everyone is dead, apart from Johnny VT, who's sleeping soundly.
Yeah, it's probably natural gas or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that pretty much, although I always say we're not going to sum up the episode, we kind of did.
I think we covered some of the high-level things, although we didn't talk about Magpie.
That's okay. I think Magpie is one of those things better seen than described, because she really does give off Harley vibes at first, if I'm being honest. But then it's very childlike. Because at first I was like, oh, it's Harley. And then I changed my mind. I was like, oh, no, it's Baby Doll. And then I saw it and I was like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very, it was one of those characters that was kind of like, not the comic relief, but you felt a little bit, I don't know.
Yeah.
You didn't hate that character.
No, she was definitely odd. But I just loved, I won't talk about what happened because you should watch it, but Sophia's final line is like, I told you I'm innocent.
Yeah.
It's like, not anymore.
So what do you think's going to happen after this?
Well, it's interesting that she's killed off pretty much her entire family, so now she's in charge of the Falcone crime family. She knows that Oswald has betrayed her, and you can't trust a single thing.
And she also knows that Oz killed
her brother.
Alberto.
Yeah. So she's going to go after him.
Obviously.
I don't think she's going to team up with the Maronis. I don't think she's going to trust anyone else. I think Sofia is probably just going to end up killing all of her rivals and getting their Bliss Lab back.
She is going to put Oz, without even recognizing what she's doing, she's going to put in motion for Oz to take over things, because she is going to kill everybody. And then he's probably going to kill her.
Oh, yeah. He's bound to, yes.
I think he's going to do it, and I think he's going to kind of feel bad about it, but not really. Because does Oz really feel bad about anything that isn't about Oz? Or sometimes he doesn't even care about that.
No.
But yeah, those are our thoughts on this episode. It wasn't... Because it was about Sofia, and we kind of know, Sofia's background, not necessarily her story, but her background is she is a Falcone, and, we know this, and this. It was really nice to have the backstory, but there's not an awful lot that we can talk about without giving away the whole episode. Yeah. So, should we get to the comments?
Yeah, let's do it. Do it. All right, I'm going to load them up. So, first comment we have was from Frozen Jack, who says, weekly podcast, how nice.
Oh, how
good,
nice that you commented last time as well.
And we have new commenter, I believe, called Meh6442. Very enthusiastic name. Says, I enjoyed this episode of the show or the podcast, maybe both. I was probably talking about the show.
Yeah, I enjoyed the last... Well, I've enjoyed most of the episodes.
Yeah, it's a good show. Very good show.
Actually, all of them so far. I'm waiting for that filler episode, though.
I feel like this was not a filler episode, but it kind of... They could have had a separate crew running off filming this one because Colin Farrell wasn't in it very much.
Yeah, they probably did. But it wasn't one of those ones where they had 10 episodes planned, but they only wrote 9 episodes.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like
The Walking Dead. Yeah. Like, okay, this episode is the same story as last time, but from Daryl's perspective.
But then on The Talking Dead, they just act like it's like the most mind-blowing thing they've ever seen.
Don't get me started.
Although I do like The Talking Dead.
All right, next we have David Carney. Hello, David.
Hello, David.
It says, hi, Mary and Luke. Did you know it takes 3 hours to turn Colin Farrell into the Penguin? I did hear that, yes.
They could just put me in the seat, put a fake nose on me, and brown contacts, and done.
You don't have any gold teeth.
Yet.
Yeah. Regarding Victor, there are people who think this is Mr. Freeze. Yeah. Fools. Personally, I don't see how. It will be 20 years on Thursday, the 10th of October, since Christopher Reeve died. Yes, I noted that, actually, and thought, oh, God, how time flies.
Yeah.
Have a good week, both of you. Yeah, thank you.
Wasn't his funeral televised? I'm sure it was.
It may very well have been.
I believe it was Reagan right after that passed. Either right before or right after that passed as well. And his was televised because he was the president. But I believe the Reeves one was as well. Unless I'm having one of those Mandela effect things.
Maybe. Next we have Doc Widener, who says, thank goodness you're here. Weird comment from last week was removed. May put a quick one there for support reasons. Nothing major. Mentioned I was late to it, excuse me. Waiting on my son and his boyfriend. I just remembered. I did mention how much I enjoyed another Netflix Marvel alum, as well as The Expanse. Shoheri Aghidashlu. She is Maroni's wife. Oh, her. Okay. and was really good in episode 2, and an interesting contrast for Sofia. Maybe because Salvatore is in prison, but she is clearly more in a place of power and prestige than Sofia. Also interesting that while Salvatore still has the Italian angle, his wife and son are therefore those gang have much more of a Persian-Iranian feel than an Italian one, like the Falcones. Kind of surprised this didn't come up in the week 2 video. My son, his boyfriend, and I watched this before you recorded for a change, on vacation this week to get fall and country fair stuff done around the house, so I got to it a bit late today, but not as late as usual, and not for the same reason.
Hey, county fair?
What did I say?
Country fair?
Oh, excuse me.
I say this because the Oklahoma County Fair is, or not the Oklahoma, there's a difference between the county fair and the state fair.
Uh-huh.
I love the fairs.
And no such thing as the country fair.
I love fairs.
Mm-hmm.
You have to tell me how it went.
Got flu shot a few weeks ago at doctor's appointment, taking the missus and the boys to Target tomorrow for COVID and flu shots. Just COVID for me, didn't get that at the doctor's because the latest version that will give me either x-ray vision or invisibility wasn't out yet.
I know, they said next year maybe.
Maybe. I think they said that last year too. That opening was extremely powerful. I think the lineup of the G with Victor looks like a teardrop. Yeah, it does a little bit actually, yeah. That bathroom scene was fantastic, and this version of the DC Universe first had the Riddler on a larger scale, was trying to reach some of the disinfected because the system failed them. I think you mean disaffected, possibly. And now, on a smaller scale, you have Oz reaching one person that the system had also failed. Yeah, that's an excellent point.
True.
It was nice to see Pierre Chang actually survive the purge of the Dharma Initiative and now leads the triad in Gotham. It was the phone. I love the interactions with Sofia and Oz, and they come in different flavours. The two of them BSing?
BSing, like bullshitting.
BSing. Okay, I get it. Okay. The triad early on, feeding off each other like the great improv team. Similarly in VT's room, and then their conflict scenes as well. And she gave a bit of a side-eye at the club when Oz kissed Eve. Victor's fate is going to break my heart. He is the anti-Jesse Pinkman in some ways. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mary, hope Red River rivalry went well for you. He kissed Galadriel for a similar reason as to why Oz punched VT in episode 2, to get the means for her to pick her manacles. Mm-hmm. There are reasons to be unhappy with the show. This is one of the sillier ones. At least it isn't the more misogynistic or racist ones. If she got loose without the assist, some would have complained about that. Some people just seem to watch stuff to hate it, which baffles me to no end.
Tell me about it. Like, it's so unfair on the creators of the show, trying to make it more watchable for nowadays. Mm-hmm. Like, if you just stuck to the original Tolkien things, mm-hmm. it would just be a bunch of beige people. And let's be honest, the world has never just been a world of beige. And if people are unhappy with how the story's going, they don't have to watch the rest of it. I will watch all of it. Yeah. But they don't have to. And if they want to bitch about it, you know what I'm going to do? The video will come up on my feed. I will be like, oh, it's about this. I'm going to watch this. They'll start to bitch about it. And you know what I'll do? I'll click off of it to something else.
Mm-hmm. Next, we have Harry Flew TV, who says,
Harry.
I actually felt sorry for Oswald in this episode. This is sympathetic Penguin done right. No rushed plot. No flipping back and forth on who's the real hero villain. I think there is a bit of that in this show, but it's done at a much more natural pace. There's more room in a 57-minute long episode solely focused on the Penguin than a 20-something minute long cartoon episode that tried to give so many characters the spotlight, and Batman rarely did anything until the climax. The one criticism I have with Batman Cape Crusader! I like this show so far. I think a sympathetic Penguin can be done well if it's built up naturally, and this show does that successfully. Also, I sympathise with Mary's ADHD preventing her from reading comics. Trust me, I know the feeling, lol.
Yeah. And a lot of people are undiagnosed as well. They just think that they're, like, stupid, and they're not. So, yeah, we're not stupid. We're just hyperactive minds that make us not do things.
I'm just waiting for Luke to snap and ask why I'm obsessed with Veronica Vreeland, or lose it if I mention the double V one more time. I think he almost did at 28-27 in the last episode. Now I'm going to keep mentioning Veronica Vreeland to piss off Luke. Mwahaha, just kidding, lol. But in all seriousness, I just think Veronica Vreeland is an underrated character. But I'll stop if Mary or Luke wants me to. Have a great week.
Never.
No, you talk
Never
about whatever
stop.
you like, within reason. I guess you watched this episode and went, oh, there's Summer Gleason. Surely Veronica Vreeland is just around the corner. Where is she? And then you got Magpie instead. Oh. Anyway.
You can mention Veronica Vreeland as much as you like, because Veronica Vreeland is a cool character, and we need more Veronica Vreeland in life. Did I do it justice?
Yes.
Good.
Next we have the Phantasm. He says, hey guys, didn't leave a comment last time because I felt I didn't have much to say. Didn't have any complaints really. I guess I slightly preferred the first episode, but that's pretty much it. Episode 3, however, is my favourite thus far, and I feel I have some things to say about it. So here's my prediction for the show. I'm just spitballing here. I think that it'll be revealed that unlike the story Dark Victory, where Sofia really is the hangman, Sofia in the show is actually telling the truth. I think the actual hangman in the show is going to be revealed to be her father, Carmine, and that's why they got Mark Strong to play a young Carmine Falcone. My basis for this theory is that the Batman movie, he strangles the girl Catwoman was protecting, which you hear in the recording Batman and Catwoman listen to. Also, Catwoman says that her mother was found strangled, and we learnt in the movie that Carmine killed her too. And when Selina tries to kill him in the movie, Carmine also tries to strangle her as well. My guess is that Sofia was close to finding out about it, perhaps not intentionally, and he had it pinned on her. I know strangling, hanging someone by rope isn't quite the same, but you get my point.
Can I tell him? Can I tell him?
I think he knows, but go on.
You were right! You're right! You did it! That's one for you. That's on your bingo card, and you have just been able to dom it.
They could borrow elements from The Long Halloween and say that the hangman was two people, and they could have it so that it was both Carmine and Alberto, because Michael Zegan, who plays Alberto, is a bit too big of an actor to just use in one scene and a dream sequence. I think he probably wanted to be involved in a Batman project, frankly. Speaking of theories, one that I've seen floating around is that Victor will end up becoming the show's version of Victor's ass, which I'm sorry, but I can't get on board with. The reasoning I've seen is that it's a different spin for Penguin to ruin his life, and him also having lost family beforehand, but I just think that would be too much. I agree, he's not any villain, pre-existing villain, I should say. I'm fairly certain of that. Ready for the next comment, Mary?
Yeah.
Lowell Lucas Jr.
Hey.
He says, hey, y'all, it's totally Schway, coming again on a Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's play. All right, that one. Not your strongest rhyme, but hey, it
don't
works.
you talk about my friend like that. Well, we're going to have words after this, you and I, Luke. We're going to have words.
Don't know why you're on Tuesday for a flip side, but glad to hear and see Mary's channel thrive and stay alive. Keep up the good work. So the reason why we do it is we try to drop the podcast shortly after the episode of The Penguin airs, just to stay relevant. Because when we did X-Men 97 and we did like one episode per week after it had already finished, it didn't do so well. Anyway. Looking forward to Aussie. Keep up the cool coverage. Also look forward to the upcoming Mudslide episode, as I thought it truly was his final curtain call, long before the new Batman Adventures was even a thing. I was truly sad the day after that episode. Felt like Bruce took away his chance of being whole again. By the way, on another note, have you seen the lost episode of BTS? It's really all the cutscenes from the Sega CD car game. But I'd highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. The animation is beautiful, and a grand farewell to the cast on the show. Also ties in with Clayface. Yes, I am aware of it. Yes.
Have you seen it?
I have seen it, yes. I own a copy of that game, but I don't have a Sega CD.
Oh no, I'm not buying you one.
No, I don't want one.
I'll ask. I'll ask this on my community post as well, but I'm making an advent calendar for Luke for 24 days of December. It's going to be, I think it might be 25. Would you guys like to see a video on that? I know it's going to be kind of like boring or whatnot, but I thought it would be cool to share some of the... They're not like super like expensive gifts. They're little gifts about Batman the Animated Series. So I don't know if you guys want to see that.
You should just do it anyway. Let them decide once it's live. Okay, so next we have Mikey Part 2. Original account got banned again or something. Using this reserve once more. Hypochondriac YouTube.
Wait, did he say that?
Yes.
I love it. Oh, I love it so much.
Me catching up on Death Billiards and Death Parade will have to wait then. Asian crime groups in this miniseries brings into mind the Batman 2004 for me. With that, there better not be Yakuza game bombast later. Hee hee. I like those games, but their outlandishness won't fit well with this show. I'm okay. Yeah, you're not going to have any like chickens running the triads operations. That's a very deep cut reference. Don't worry, Mary. Don't worry, it's fine.
I was about to say I like chickens.
I'm okay with martial arts Asian crime lord types. It's the inaccurately mangled accents that can whelm badly. No, folks, Chinese triads don't speak with Korean mafia types armed with Japanese katanas. Pre-80s to 90s Western cartoons are a rough bunch. Was expecting the drug to be called a Lotus Eater Machine type. Or to be a Lotus Eater Machine type, excuse me. DC live-action shows tend to lose their way later on, in my opinion, unlike most of the animated series. Never understood the hype for the aforementioned Gotham, Smallville, and especially the Arrowverse. Thankfully, though, there may be a few exceptions like Doom Patrol. I can sympathise with Mary on comics. I can bear comics if they're finished, not overlong, and also neat standalones. However, my bias for adaptations can be problematic. I know my fair share of, say, the Dragon Ball plus Dragon Ball Z Kai anime, but the manga exclusives are something that isn't as well versed.
You know what? I think this is the second time I've said this to you. You're not the first person I've heard say that. I also have a question for you, Big Mikey P. Do you have the collectible balls from Dragon Ball? Because I've seen those on a few YouTube videos, and I thought of you when I saw them. I don't know why, but I did.
Can agree that the Court of Owls and whatever Ras Al Ghul's people are called being cut and dry, trite. Me want more Project Cadmus and Majestic 12, 3103 timestamping. Celebrian is pronounced Celebrian. C's in Middle-earth names are mostly sounding like K's.
Yeah.
Okay, I must have said Celebrian then or something. I don't remember.
Thank you so much, Big Mikey P. Well, thank you. Thank all of you guys for commenting.
Next, we have A1ML33Y, Julia Raoul, who says, Joker 2 is a terrible movie, and the first one is equally as bad, and I hated that one also. What is DC doing? Keep making terrible, terrible Batman spin-offs. I mean, I hope the Batman 2 doesn't suck, because it's looking like DC can't get anything right. I'm tired of these DC projects that make you feel bad about Batman's Rogues Gallery. I mean, looking at a Joker or two, it's a fire festival. And looking at Penguin, Joker 2, excuse me, it's a fire festival. And looking at Penguin, it's like, should I feel sorry for this 2-bit crook? What's DC obsessions with promoting their bad guys? Luke and Mary. And tell Big Mikey P to stop with all that shade. Sometimes, and I caught that, and he said about the Super Friends and stuff like that as if he was trying to be funny. I wasn't amused. You've been put on notice, Big Mikey P. Cut the crap talking.
Okay, stop fighting, guys. Stop.
Yeah, let people like their different things.
Yeah, stop fighting.
I might tease about the impronounceable shows that you like, Big Mikey P, but you're welcome to watch whatever you like.
Yeah.
Similarly, Julia Raoul, I don't particularly care for like the light-hearted stuff. I do like the shows like The Penguin, basically. So that's my jam. I must admit, I didn't love Joker 2. I can appreciate it on an intellectual level, but I don't think I'll watch it again. I
don't like Scooby-Doo.
No, neither do I.
I said it again, and I'll continue to say it. If you ever hear me say on this channel or on Sierra Blake's channel that I like Scooby-Doo, I'm missing. I've been kidnapped, and I am dying at the hands of Warner Brothers.
Kevin Altieri's got us at gunpoint saying, watch my episodes of Scooby-Doo and like them.
Like them.
They're great. I love Scooby-Doo. He would never do that. He's fine. He's fine with people not liking some of his stuff. I mean, to be honest, I've never seen his episodes, so I don't know if they're good or not.
I probably have.
I did see a clip from an episode of Scooby-Doo that contained a parody of The Predator, like when Arnold Schwarzenegger's setting up all the traps in the woods, except it's, what's his name, Freddy from Scooby-Doo. Mm-hmm. I thought that looked very funny.
I want a divorce.
Not quite enough to... Well, he's just like setting up these death traps in the woods, smearing himself with mud, rips his shirt off and is like screaming. I
don't know if I've seen that one.
No, it's a more modern one. But it's Fred from Scooby-Doo, so it just looks preposterous. It's made me laugh a little bit, but not enough to actually seek it out and watch it myself.
There's one character from Scooby-Doo that is okay.
Scrappy-Doo.
No, it's none of them. See, I tricked you.
It's that old guy that's wearing the ghost mask.
Yeah, in every episode.
In every episode, yes. Okay, let's move on. I think we've dwelled too much. Gee Willikers.
Gee Willikers, Batman.
Oh. Finally, we have Captain Alcis, who says, "Speak my name and I shall appear."
Yeah. Captain.
I just said his name. Who was that? Knocking at the door. I think it might be Captain Alcis.
Oh, you're more than welcome to come in. I made cinnamon rolls.
Some sort of like that Beetle Blorp fellow, but I shower more frequently. Another supernatural being who knows the power of names is Clarion. Yes, he is. When I heard Luke was going to actually make a video about the Witch Boy, I got worried. I know how much he hates Clarion, for fair reason. Are you all right, Luke? Are you safe? Blink twice if you need help. No, Kevin Altieri does not have a gun to my head.
Oh.
He didn't have anything to do with that episode, so it's not a very good joke. Anyway, I should have said Dan Reba doesn't have a gun to my head. I don't think he had worked on that episode either. Terrible joke. Anyway. I've been around, though. I haven't been commenting as often as I like. The closest thing I have to free time is mostly listening to YouTube in my earbuds while working. And since I really like to leave worthwhile comments, they take so much bloody time to write. But I'm still here listening all the time. Mary's Hereafter video was refreshing. Easily one of the best episodes of JLass. There he is, hashtag JLass.
Yeah!
That deserves more attention. Oh, and Luke's essay on the best Riddler story ever. Riddler's Reform is easily my favourite Riddler story in any medium. And I will sometimes dramatically say to the empty privacy of my own room or car, "I have to know! I have to know!" Just because that scene amuses me so much.
You did a Riddler video?
Yeah, I did. And years ago I told...
I know you did. That was a joke.
Yeah, I know. But years ago I told John Glover that I thought that was a wonderful scene and was so glad that he did it. And he responded on Twitter and was like, "Thank you." He didn't remember doing it.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was that good?
Yeah, it was that good. He said he wished he remembered more about working on BTAS, but he's got no recollection of it. Well, that's a shame.
A lot of people don't have recollection of the 90s.
Yes, yeah. I'm glad to see Totally Schway and Flipside both going so strong. I don't want you two burning out making so much content, but it sounds like you're enjoying yourselves for now, and I hope that's the case, except maybe that Clarion bit coming up. I'm not watching Penguin at the moment, but I'll be keeping up with these analyses anyway. I enjoy tuning in regardless. Same bat time, same bat channel. Yeah. Well, hopefully we haven't ruined it for you.
And by the way, you don't have to comment if you don't have the time or anything. That's fine. Yeah. Because you guys you do bring me joy, and I really have. I've said this time and time again, and I'll continue saying it. I see you guys as friends, and I appreciate everything that you guys have done for me. And sometimes friends like me don't always get back to other people, and that's fine because we have lives and our lives are there, and this video is always going to be there unless I delete it one day, which I don't think I will because I'm too lazy to do that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm happy to hear that y'all are well and live and laugh.
Yeah, of course. You're very welcome to leave comments if you have the time. We'll read them out. We always appreciate it, even if you write a massive novel. Which, actually, we've had fewer of those recently, which has been nice on my voice.
I still like them.
Yeah, well, you're not the one that's reading
One day I'm going to make an AI of Luke's voice, so I could just do all of his comments in a video. Yep,
that's right. And then it can mispronounce all of those obscure show names, and Big Mikey P can get angry with them.
You know what? But you didn't mispronounce my surname, though. Or not my surname, my maiden name. So that's good for you.
Well,
that was good. Yeah.
All right. So we're done with comments.
Next week's episode will be episode 5.
Yeah, episode 5 of 8. So we're halfway through now.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. I'll be happy when we aren't doing a Flipside episode every week, because I want to be able to do different things, which would be good.
You've got a video in the works that's hopefully will be out within the next week.
Yeah. I'm still not telling you who it is.
I thought you had told them.
No.
Okay.
I said who it wasn't.
Okay.
I don't think I did. If I did, whatever. But I will say this. She is awesome. Yeah. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to say it. I love you. And I really appreciate you guys. And I hope you're having a good time. And I'm just going to mention this real quick because, you know, sometimes we have things in life that aren't perfect and dandy. Please hug your loved ones. Tell them how you feel. Unless it's if you feel good about them, please tell them how you feel, and make sure people appreciate you as well. But if you appreciate someone, please please tell them, because you might not always get that chance. And I just want you to I want you guys to know I do appreciate you guys, and I love you. Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao, Bella.